Ain't no way.
What?
What?
Are you getting your car painted by somebody else?
No, he's still deciding.
I'm not gonna get painted yet. Also, I made it worse.
Yeah, he made it worse.
In the
Yeah.
20 minutes after
Oh,
storm?
no.
What?
What are you yelling about?
What do you mean you made it worse?
Well, did I not tell you?
How you doing?
I told you, right, that I ended my conversation with him that if he's gonna shoot Nick, I'm gonna shoot him.
Oh, I knew this.
Yeah.
I called you. I said,
Fury, how are you? Sorry, how are you cleaning the car?
What?
You
This wax and this rug?
Oh, okay, so it is the wax. How long does it last?
A whole day?
One whole day?
Yeah.
Wow, sir.
Exactly.
It's definitely worth $40.
Is that what it costs to have it cleaned?
Yep.
Oh, God.
Anything for the future mayor.
Thank you.
Just gonna jump in, check your electronics real quick.
All right.
Yep, works like a charm.
Thank
now
you.
go to see what kind of color you want and all that kind of stuff because it will look way different without dirt on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back for that. I need to go to a meeting first.
Okay.
Yeah. How much do I owe you for the windscreen?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, all right. I appreciate that. I'll be back in
Perfect.
like however long this is gonna take.
Sounds good. Stay safe.
Yeah, you too.
Can we go across the road to the store first so I can grab food so I don't end up dying?
Yeesh.
Okay.
That is a universal sign for thank you.
Yeah. Crank, crank.
Why do I sound like I'm about to lose
Anything?
my fucking brain? No, I'm alright. Wait, I'm about to... Wait, did he not fix my fucking windscreen? He didn't. He only cleaned my... He didn't fix my windows!
Yeah. Oh no, your front's not good. Did you know senior buns are out of burgers?
How is a burger place out of burgers?
The grill's on fire. Could be fixed now. Earlier it was on fire.
Also, I know as a fact that it takes like 2 hours to change the windscreen. I had it done 2 days ago.
Do you want to get the windscreen?
Well, I don't have a windscreen right now. I'm missing my right window.
Okay. Oh shit, yeah, okay.
Huh?
I knew about the front windscreen. I didn't realize I was missing the window as well. Hey, home.
Hey, how's it going?
Like shit.
Going.
All right, 2 things. Jenny, it's nice to see you. And can you please, for the love of God, change into something else out of that truck? I can't take you seriously when you look like this.
Fine, I'll be back. You can talk. I don't know. Maybe I should be here.
All right. No,
Well,
you
you
need
can
to be here.
Yeah,
I'll
I
just
guess you can give him the TLDR. Why is the man hating? Emo time. Okay, I guess we're gonna get in that car. Is transferring? No, you're supposed to be able to do
There
it.
we
That's how it
go.
works. Yeesh.
Okay, this is better. This is the Michael I know.
Yeah. Okay.
So your brother and Jaeger have a problem again, huh?
Yes. And I also made it into a me problem because I'm not gonna just sit idle by and listen to
Oh, of
fucking
course.
empty fucking or to threats. I'm over his fucking whatever it is he got going on.
Well, I don't even know what the basis of all of this is, but it sounds like just another day in the life of Jaeger and Nick interacting with each other.
Yeah, but the issue is that he's threatening everybody as well, which
Okay.
becomes a bigger.
Jaeger's threatening your
back
whole
up.
family?
Let's back up and start at the beginning so that Trey's not getting half a story. So yesterday, HOA got robbed,
I heard.
and Jaeger was there dealing with it. While he was dealing with it, they ended up using our backyard as basically a meeting area.
Mm-hmm.
Nick and V got there. They didn't like that. Asked Jaeger to get off the property. He wouldn't. Led to them having an altercation. He said something about Little Sanguine, which upset V, because obviously V's passed.
Yeah.
And then it escalated to the point where Nick pulled a knife. They didn't throw hands. They ended up the guild ended up on the back, like the house behind ours, in their yard, looking into ours.
Mm-hmm.
That is the very, very like simple TLDR of what happened.
Okay.
It came, so Nick was unhappy. They were unhappy with each other, obviously. Today, I spoke to Jaeger, who told me that Nick should have stabbed him. If he was going to threaten him, he should have just used the knife. Let me put my notes, because I take notes and shit like that. I don't like misremembering.
Hey, can more
Neither.
people learn from Jenny? Can more people fucking take notes when something happens so that they recollect the story correctly and I don't get fucking 1,000 different versions of it? That would be fucking amazing.
Well, we don't have the actual story since I wasn't there anyways.
No, I was there at the end. I got a text from V that was basically Jaeger and people are in our backyard yard calling this place Little Sanguine. The Jaeger told Nick that he had to be that he was in charge of Paleto, and Nick needed that he owned everything, including our yard, which obviously set off Nick.
Mm-hmm.
So then today,
Wow.
I spoke to Jaeger at the hospital. He said that he plans to shoot Nick for pulling a knife and for sending him out of the yard and ordering him what to do. I tried to talk him down, but he said he will 100% be in the area to fold the poke at Nick. I said, is there any way for this to just kind of go away? Because I don't think this is really reasonable. And he said, yes, that Nick could stab V in the arm to show he was sorry. And I kind of talked him down from that using, you talking to him about me and Pred. I used the same logic of that and said that there is no point going after Veronica at all.
Yeah.
Jaeger changed tactics to, okay, he can stab himself in the thigh with the knife that he threatened me with, and then he can say sorry, and then I'll apologize for being in his yard. He said that he wasn't going to shoot him right this second because he has bigger enemies to deal with, but if Nick comes near him or starts yapping or does anything, then he will shoot him. He said that if Nick retaliates in any way, he would go after the entire house and make our lives miserable. He also told me that he wants to rule Paleto by fear and that he owns Paleto and he's calling it Little Sanguine. and that his whole big plan is that he wants access to everyone's house. He wants a key to everyone's house who is in Paleto. He wants to tax everyone who lives in Paleto. He then tried to tax a hunter in front of me in the hospital, and he was just genuinely typical Jaeger.
The end.
My end is over. Pass over to
Okay.
Michael.
Michael.
Well, I don't know. I called him. I started pressing him about it. Ask him like what exactly happened, and I asked him like what was the like when Nick came up to him the first time around and asked him to leave. How was the tone? And he couldn't remember. Is what he said.
Well,
I was busy with something. I was like, okay, did you tell him that you were in the middle of dealing with the HOA being robbed? He didn't.
well,
Instead, he responded, you know, with this is my place, a little sanguine, all of that stuff, which obviously escalated. So, and then he was like, "Who cares about other people being in somebody else's backyard?" It's like normal human beings care about random or people being in their backyard without, you know, just being there. And then he proceeded to say, well, am I a stranger? No, you're not a stranger to me, but we know you and Nick have history.
yeah, no kidding.
So obviously it's an issue. When Nick asks you to leave, you should just leave. And then he proceeded to say, like, I should have...
That was the wrong thing to say to him. We
Wait,
both know that.
What, asking him to
Telling
leave?
Jaeger that he should have just listened to Nicholas? Come on. Like, that you're challenging... If there's one thing you don't do to either Jaeger or your brother, it's challenge their ego. Let's be honest with each other.
Well, I'm over the ego thing, so... And
Okay,
then
but it takes two to tango in this situation.
yes, and I was trying to meet him in the middle, but there's no given. There's no meeting anywhere.
Okay, so I have a couple thoughts already. One, and I don't say this line to be funny, but playing devil's advocate here, I told you probably at least a few days in advance of
Thank you
the
so much
house
for the
being
11.
bought that Jaeger was hell-bent against the government and wanted to do the same thing, and that we were looking at Polito. I did tell you that.
Yeah, and you said it wasn't
you
going to
told
be
me-
soon.
Sure, but I can't... Look, for the guild, sure, it's not going to be soon. For Jaeger, I can't ever speak to what he's going to do because he changes his mind every day. Now, the thing is, I told you that a few days in advance, and I told you that's where we were set on. And at the time, I had no idea that you all were planning on moving to Polito. Right? That didn't get told to me until I think it was the day before or the day you bought your house.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I
honestly,
threw caution to the winds to everyone that I knew, that I cared about, that if you are looking to live a nice, peaceful life and get away from chaos, don't go to Polito. Now, that being said, I do think that Jaeger's in the wrong here. I do believe that. However, this situation that we're in right now, your brother's never going to back down, and Jaeger's sure as shit not going to back down. Your brother's not going to bend the knee, you know?
well,
This is
that's
a
the issue.
unstoppable force and immovable object situation.
Yes, until somebody shoots the other one. I already told, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like I'm so over whatever these guys got going. I told them the same shit. Like obviously, and this is the conversation we had. If I had to choose, obviously I'm gonna have to choose Nick. So if
I
Jaeger's
understand
gonna
that. He was your
threaten
brother.
my brother straight to my face, saying that he should have just shot him right then and there. And my response, and I might have overreacted. At this point, I don't really care. I just said, if you're gonna have to shoot him, I'm gonna have to shoot you. I don't want to, but I'm not just gonna let him do whatever the fuck he wants.
I agree with you, for what it's worth.
Like,
Right? Like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I think Jaeger's wrong, but I don't know. I don't know what the... It's hard, right? Because I empathize with Nicholas and with V. I do.
well,
Right? I understand the predicament that they're in.
I'm just gonna be honest and call Nick an idiot, because if again we had this conversation, if you pull a knife, you're pulling it because you're willing to use it. Like Nick isn't
Sure, but
Nick isn't a
Jaeger
saint.
doesn't need to pull a knife to be threatening to anyone.
No, and this,
Right.
I'm pretty sure
He's well within his rights to pull a knife. Now, Jaeger's well within his rights to be upset about it, but Nick didn't look. I'm gonna say it as it is. Nicholas didn't do anything wrong. We don't know the conversation that transpired, and to be honest with you, I don't think we'll get an honest recollection of the conversation from either side.
No.
That's my opinion, right? However, sure, I agree with you. You pull a knife, you better be willing to use it. Now, the problem with that inherently is I do think Nick would stab Jaeger, and I don't think he'd have a second thought about it.
Era, thank you so much for gifting us a burrito. Mm-hmm.
Especially if it came down to protecting his family. There's not even a doubt in my mind that Jaeger would equalize, or Nick would equalize Jaeger, right? So, like I said, unstoppable force, immovable object. You have two people with a track record of being unwilling to work with each other or reason with each other.
Yes. And that's why it's an issue.
The rest of the guild can't seem to wrap their head around the fact that if you lot didn't buy that house, some random person we don't know probably would have, and it would have created even bigger problems.
Oh, right. He also was upset. He said he wasn't upset, but he was upset about the house.
Trust me, I heard it from Bjorn and everybody, and I said, okay, so let's hypothesize for a second, okay? Let's take all the money we have in all of our accounts, and let's take every single dollar out of Mary's account and put it together. Can we buy that house? The answer is still no. So why the fuck are we complaining?
And I also told him, like, you and I talked about the house either on the same day or the day before.
And I told you the same thing then. I said, I mean, we were looking at this one. Andy said she wanted us to live here, but we're not going to get this house within even like the next month or two.
Yeah, but it's not so much
unreasonable to think that we can just call that shit.
Yeah,
you know?
yes, but it's not so much that. Is Jaeger said that Nick knew that you guys were looking at the house. Like, okay, how did he know that? Did you tell him?
I haven't spoken to your brother a day in my fucking life since I moved back to the
Exactly.
city.
And like I said, we looked at it literally the day before or on the same day, and I barely see my brother as is.
We looked at it days before we even bought it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you guys did. I was kind of,
Yeah.
you know.
And Nick had we had no idea anyone else was looking at it. The only reason it ended up like that is because we originally wanted the HOA house, and then we were like, oh shit, we better pull our finger out and get the one next door because that's the only one we like as well.
I don't understand why Jaeger just views everything as diametrically opposed to him. Now, here's the thing, even and I'm noticing a problem, and this is not me like saying this individual is a problem. Like I said, my empathy supersedes my what's the word I'm looking for? My empathy supersedes kind of like my frustration with the circumstances that, like, even if for a second we all got along hand in hand, HOA, your family and mine, and everybody was buddy, that still is not going to alleviate V from whatever trauma that she has regarding Sanguine, right? Now that still to me is an underlying fundamental issue.
Yes, but that can be dealt with.
How? You can't just rationalize someone's trauma away and say it can be dealt with. That's not how that works. Right?
Well, I get it's trauma. But how often do you see, unless it's a crazy person running through the streets saying, this is little Sanguine, this is little Sanguine?
Yeah, but what about when it actually starts happening, Michael?
Well, then we moved out by that point. I don't think we're going to...
That's not fair to your family either.
What do you mean? We don't plan on staying up there. Not forever.
And what was the cause for Polito in the first place then?
We didn't want Southside. There's just too many people down there.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, when we had the conversation, when you said it wasn't going to be just, right now.
I didn't expect Jaeger to go up there big dicking everyone day one. I'm going to be honest.
I don't think I expected that either. So I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying that's, if it came to it, could always move out at that point. But now this got fast tracked, like real fast.
Well, look, I said it to Jenny while you were getting changed, but I haven't talked to your brother, so I can't really talk too much on who he is today, right? He might not be the Nick that I knew, but your brother still seems to be a hardhead, and he still seems to have a bit of an ego, but that's par for the course for Nicholas, right?
Yeah.
That being said, I mean, he could have changed his life in a lot of ways. I don't know. Your brother, I would say, has the capacity to learn or to have his experiences in life mold his decision-making processes and the way that he operates, right? Your brother has that capacity. I've seen it. Jaeger used thousands of bombs, hundreds of lives at his disposal, dozens of murders, countless years in jails for hundreds of people, fought a war against the government, and spent a near life sentence in AdSec on his own to learn absolutely nothing. That is impressive, and not in a good way.
Yeah. I don't know. Nick has changed for the better, in my opinion, but he's still, like you said, a hothead. And again, he's also an idiot in this. This isn't just Jaeger. They're both idiots. So clearly he didn't get rid of the
Yeah.
fucking...
Yeah, but one is being a
mean,
much
the little
larger,
sanguine
much more
stuff,
obtuse
yeah.
idiot.
Yes.
The little sanguine stuff is always going to get Nick's back up because of V. It's always going to lead to that. It's always going to go back to that.
Fuck. God, I am in such an awkward situation right now because Jenny, I want nothing more in the world than to just be a complete open book with you about everything. But there is something that I need to ask Michael in private for just 5 seconds.
Good.
Does she know that your brother helped us? Does
The
she know,
sanguine?
V or Jenny? Do any of them know that your brother and you helped us?
I think she knows I helped. I don't think she knows if Nick helped.
Does
I also-
anyone know that Nick helped? Does V know that Nick helped?
I don't know. I don't know what he tells V. I also didn't bring it up with Jaeger. Like, I don't know if he paid him
You
back. or
understand
anything.
it's hard for me to sit here and hear that it's going to be hard for Nick revolving around Sanguine when he helped us, Michael.
Well, you're talking to me about it.
I understand that. But I'm saying you understand it's hard for me to sit here and hear a reasoning that Nicholas is always going to have a bad taste in his mouth when it came to Sanguine when he literally deployed Russian fighter jets to help us.
Yeah, I know. Like, again, I'm the only reason I'm even making anything of this is not because of Nick. Like, I don't care. I could stay up there. It's because, well, Nick is an idiot, but V has nothing to do with anything.
I
like,
hope for V's sake that she knows. I
mm,
do.
I can't tell you.
Because she deserves that.
I couldn't
You can't simultaneously want to protect someone from the world and not be honest with them. But I'll call Jenny back over. I'll leave that part out, but that's hard for me to hear.
No, you can tell her.
All right, you're good. Sorry. Jenny.
I don't mind. Yeah, you can tell her. I know if V knows. Kate, please.
All right, well, Michael and I just chatted, and he doesn't care if I say it.
No, you're good.
I was saying that it's frustrating for me to hear that Nicholas has a soft spot or a weak point when it comes to anything Sanguine related, knowing full and well
I need
that I
snacks.
brokered a deal between him and Jaeger for him to help us by deploying Russian fighter jets to protect our airspace. It's hard for me to hear that Nicholas has a sore bone in his fucking body about it, knowing that he helped. So I don't want to hear people talk about how Nicholas will do anything to shield V from Sanguine when he was an active part of it.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I called Nicholas 2 days before the war, and I said, we have anti-air mounted, shoulder-mounted missiles. We have, anti-air turrets. We have all the guns we could ever need. We have AWMs, but what we do not have is any fighter jets in our airspace. And he said, I will help you if you get Jaeger to apologize to me for everything that's happened. And I had a long conversation with Jaeger. And Jaeger called Nicholas, and he did apologize. And sure as shit, Russian fighter jets arrived and were shooting down Snow and everybody.
Huh?
And it helped us a lot. And so for me to hear that Nicholas wants to kind of like put on this bravado about I will shield everyone from the horrors of Sanguine,
Wasn't
knowing
part
he
of
was
the
a part
deal.
of it is very
I don't
hard
know.
for me.
Yeah.
In fairness, the entire V thing was after the war.
I mean, maybe he had a change of heart. I don't know. And that was something I was actually going to circle back to, by the way. I was going to bring this up in this conversation. Your brother helped us when he had no good reason to. All he wanted was a fucking apology. And you know what the sad part is? I know, even though we haven't spoken 5 years, if
Okay.
I called your brother today and I
Thank
was
you so
in
much
a
for the
life or
21
death
months.
situation, I said, Nick, putting aside everything for a second, I need your help, and you're the only person I can call for this. He would do it because that's who your brother really is. Despite all the ego, despite the bravado, that's who your brother really is.
Mm-hmm.
Jaeger, I don't know if I can say the same.
Uh-oh. Oh. I think
It's hard
Jaeger
for me
has,
because
I think Jaeger has completely thrown out the fact that, you know, even with their differences, Jaeger has thrown out the fact that Nick was willing to help. And I don't know if Jaeger actually ever paid him back, even though you said it's just for an apology. It's such a fucking shit show, man.
I just don't understand why Jaeger has to. It's like he's on this active path, right? He sets up this whole thing. He says he wants to do this thing, and of course the guild and even myself. At the end of the day, Jaeger gave me a home, even though I knew it was fleeting and that I'd probably die. But he did give me a home, and he did help me. And I want nothing more than to be allegiant to that person entire, right? Because he didn't have very many good reasons to trust me at the time, and he did. But when you continue to try to display that allegiance only for that person to just turn into a bigger, badder, worse version of their father, it's hard
Oh.
when you've already distanced yourself from people for that shit in the past for less, right? When this person does nothing but hemorrhage every relationship that the people close to him has by proxy, it's hard to like maintain allegiance, you know? It's like there's a difference between self-sabotage and actively and willingly sabotaging the relationships of your family and the people that they care about.
Yeah. It so I like the guild. I want to hang out with them. Like I'm actually trying. Like I was hanging out with Barry doing hunting and shit. But now this is putting a
I
fucking
know.
wrench in it again. It's like, and I don't know.
You know, I want to have a conversation with the guild because, and maybe, I mean, this is tough for me. This is actually really tough for me. I mean, I want to talk to Jaeger first and foremost. Let me be very honest about it. I want to talk to Jaeger, and I want to try to reason with him like I always have. And if he won't see reason with me, then I need to have a conversation with the guild because there's a couple things going on here. Jaeger has several times preached that I'm not a part of the guild anymore. I'm not a part of the guild. And then someone else asks him and he says, yeah, of course I'm in the guild. Right. And then when this whole Polito stuff, he says, I'm doing my thing. The guild stuff is all separate. And then the guild is like, well, we're with you on this. And he's like, okay, then this is a part of it. And so for me, I'm at this crossroads now where it's like, my opinion, depending on my conversation with Jaeger, is either Jaeger is actively and very clearly not a part of the guild. And I want everyone to agree with that, or I'm out.
And I was just about to be in.
I can't comfortably say
The stray mud.
my entire hang up with people is always on principle. It's always on the fact that if he's done this now, he will continue to do it. And it doesn't matter who it is. And it could be Mary the next time. It could be, I mean, very clearly he's against you now too, which
Well, he is. Let me tell you how we ended the conversation. I obviously told him, like, if you're gonna shoot my brother, I'm gonna have to shoot you. And he proceeded to say, well, I will make sure to have 2 bullets in my magazine. And I just said, okay. Well, how did I end it? Like, well, thank you for the conversation, and I hung up on him. So yeah,
so he's against you. What's to say he doesn't go against Sis or Andy or Mary or the guild even? Because we don't do things the way he wants it to be done. He's very clearly shown that he doesn't give a fuck about anything people have ever done for him, and that he's out for himself, right? And that I will always trust. I will always trust he will put himself ahead of everyone. Doesn't matter who it is.
Just log on, Kate, and text that. I could log off again. It's
And the guild was about putting us ahead of everyone.
and that's
no
why
matter
like
what.
if Jaeger wasn't such a big thing, like obviously but I don't know if they're backing him on this specific part. Like I called Barry and asked him like, "Hey, can you tell me what happened yesterday?" And he only got like the end of it from. And I was like, "Do you know he's trying to tax people in like one of the keys?" And he's like, "It sounded like a sigh and then a laugh." So I don't know if you guys are even like if you guys know what he's actually doing or trying to do.
I mean, there's also an addition that he's talking to me, and he could just be trying to wind me up.
The problem exists that Jaeger has done nothing repeatedly since we moved back and since he got out of jail and say he's not part of the guild, he's not part of the guild, he's not part of the guild, right? He says that himself. And I'm starting to understand why. I think that's why I want to talk to him. I'm starting to understand why, because he knows that he's going to do these things.
He's making decisions I don't feel like the guild would even approve of or participate in. Is that the understanding I'm getting as well?
I don't know.
Like
I
that is when I look at it, what he is currently pulling is not the guild that I'm seeing or was seeing that I wanted to be part of.
The problem is, like I said, I want nothing more than to just be there for him, right? And like help him and hone his anger and direct it in a way that is constructive and makes sense. It isn't so reckless. And somehow, some way, everything always routes back to this agent of chaos recklessness thing, and that's not been how at least my understanding of the guild and most people in it have ever been. It's I don't know. He prison changed him, man. Like he had a goal. Now I think he just wants chaos.
He's is there a word for that? Like he had something, right? Where he felt at home. Where he could do whatever the fuck he wanted, and that got taken away, and now he missed that, and
Stability.
I don't think the stability is. I feel like there's a word for it, but it might be high. And that's why he wants to turn Palito into that what he had.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. And this is just me venting, and this isn't even about your brother anymore. This isn't about anything. It's just it's hard to throw your weight behind something when you know that you're throwing your weight behind something that might just fucking get you killed, like without a second thought, you know.
Well, it didn't take him long to, and I'm not putting myself at a pedestal like with how much he values me compared to the rest of you, but it didn't take him long to just say, well, okay, in that case, I'm just gonna kill you too. Because when all I was trying to do was, you know, try and reason with him.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is that's why I don't know about this. I don't know about this discussion that I want to have with him, because my opinion is going to be very clear. It's not that I'm not going to say like call Nick and apologize. That's not what I'm going to say.
No.
I'm just going to say like, why has it reached this point so fast? Like, why are we already at the point where you're threatening to kill Nick, kill his fucking family members or whatever, and Michael, who like we just had a discussion last week,
All
and
for a
Jaeger
house.
gave his vote and said that yes, if it was up to him, sure, he would like having you around more, and then to just like turn
All for a
on a dime like that, it's hard.
fucking
It's hard to hear that.
Yeah, some people you can't understand reasoning or their reasoning.
That's the thing. For a long time, I did though. I thought I truly got him. Like I thought him and I We had so many discussions on Sanguine. I'm talking accumulatively probably hundreds of hours of just sitting down in the office or walking around the island and just talking about the end goal and what it was he wanted to accomplish, and why he was doing what he was doing, and why he was willing to put other people in the line of fire for it. And it made sense. But this whole thing he's hell-bent on with Polito, it doesn't sound like there's an aim. It just sounds like he wants to rule the world. It doesn't sound like there's any rationality to it.
Hmm. Ugh. This is such a shit show.
It's just hard, man.
Yeah.
Because I
I
care for him probably more than anyone, and it's like watching someone just repeatedly self-destruct and not being able to do anything about it.
Well, I think Jenny has seen a side of me she probably never seen before, or haven't seen in a while, all because of all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking stressed the fuck out of my mind, running in circles, losing my goddamn shit. Cause I don't want to go down this path. It's fucking dumb.
Yeah, and I don't think any of
You've
the guild
already
would want
walked
to
it
either.
as well. You've already all
Yeah,
been down
we've
this
done
path.
it in the past.
You've done
before.
it, so this is just it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's very hard to have serious discussions with almost anyone in the guild except for like Alex.
Yeah.
It's very hard to, like, the house thing is a really good kind of like microcosm of an example, right? It's the house was gonna get bought. It doesn't matter
yeah.
if we broadcast to the world that this is our house, you can't buy it. Someone is gonna buy it because we're not around forever, and we can't just expect the entire city to fucking know that this is the house we want. And it doesn't work that way, right? There are realtors, there are titles, there are deeds, there are all these things in the process, none of which we had. And if it wasn't you all, it was gonna be someone. And I would so much rather it be your family than anybody else.
Hmm.
And somehow, some way, the only person
Yes,
who
I'm
understands me on
Danish.
that is Alex.
Well, is the rest of the guild actually upset about us buying the house?
I don't know. They just keep throwing passive aggressive comments about how I gave you guys approval. It's like, it wasn't like I said, yeah, man, fuck it, we don't need it, buy the house. What I said was, we were looking at it, but if I'm being like logical, we're not going to be able to buy this house anytime soon. And I'm not going to sit here and tell your family what to do because it's not my fucking place. That was the discussion we had.
You didn't even give. We just had a conversation about the house.
Yep.
There's no approval or disapproval. We just had a conversation about the house, that we were looking at it as well. That's it. And then the next day it was bought. Again, me being kind of behind everything, it just kind of happened.
Yeah, I mean,
So if they're throwing shade at you for that, there's no reason to.
it's whatever, man.
I told Jaeger the same thing.
Been
Like
dealt with
you didn't tell
3
Nick.
years of it, so I can keep doing it.
Yeah. Well, Nick doesn't read minds as much as people want to believe so. It's a fucking house.
I don't know. Why does he want to make enemies of your family when you could be very useful, very good allies? I don't understand it.
I don't know.
I fail, like, for someone who talks about the bigger picture, I'm going to turn Polito into Little Sanguine. Jaeger can't see more than 2 feet in front of him. He can't think about the future. He can't think that maybe, just maybe, threatening to kill the people in this neighborhood you want to claim is only going to make things harder for them and for you. Like, or since it's people we know and it's people the HOA knows, maybe we could sit down and have a rational conversation and turn these people into fucking allies. But instead,
Well,
circle back to self-sabotage.
Yeah, and I feel like if Polito was supposed to be this, community that HOA wanted also to build, I don't think having people forcing people to hand over keys and tax them is gonna help in any way, shape, or form either. But I don't know, because all of this kind of happened after Sis went to bed. So I guess Sis approved it, quote unquote.
I don't know, man. I
Yeah.
just
We had a meeting earlier. We haven't talked to Nico V. I did suggest for V's sake, not for Nick's or really anyone else, because we kind of all agreed that we could kind of handle it. But for V's sake, we would think about maybe selling at some point if it came to it.
dude, that
It sucks that it comes to
Yeah.
that, but
It's not. It's V that we've got to think about, and she can't she can't live
I
somewhere
understand
if
that,
there's
but-
this threat there. It's not fair.
and it's not just like if it comes to if it does become the extreme, like Jaeger is threatening, then like I value
That's
my
not-
life more than a fucking house.
it's not fair though.
No,
not
it's not,
fair.
it's not. I know. I'm perfectly aware it's not fair.
Because if somebody did this to us in Mary's house, if you like, I don't know, man.
It blows,
It's-
but it is
yeah,
what it is.
Yeah,
I'm not.
and it's also not what we're doing right this second. It's
No,
not.
we've-
It's on the table. It's just something that we put there so that we can prepare the rest of our group if it does come to that.
If our group was a different kind of setup, maybe it wouldn't be going to that part. Like V is a civilian. Reggie is trying to stay civilian as well.
Yeah, give me a second.
Oh, yeah, you're good. Next, thank you so much for the 12 months. So much for being an adult.
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. What the fuck did I just see? Oh, I hit somebody with my van today.
What?
On purpose.
Okay. Why?
Somebody went up to my van as I was turning in bags and stole from it. I tried to knock them
Right.
off their bike. They drove off. I finished it. They looped around and came back, so I've hunted it down, hit them on the bike with my van,
Uh-huh.
and proceeded to knock them
Okay.
the fuck out.
So you London styled them.
Yes. I told him,
Nice.
like, any other day, I probably wouldn't have cared, but just today, it's probably not the fuck around and find out day.
Oh, they pushed you and yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yes. So I
Did
told
you
them,
get your shit back?
well, I told them, like, tell me where the bags are. They told me where the bags were. I was like, all right, I'm going to drop you at the hospital, and then we'll leave it at that.
Well, that was the mature thing to do.
Well, yeah, because I have no right to, hand them over to PD as much as I wanted to.
You'd have got in trouble actually, so don't do that.
Why would I get in trouble?
Because you have no right to defend them stealing your shit.
They did threaten me with a knife when I did hit them with my car. So in theory, we're at that point where I can defend myself because they were threatening my life. I could just say hitting them with my car was an accident.
True.
But there's also no proof on either side of things, so
No, there isn't.
I don't know. She I don't know. She had a French accent.
French.
Yeesh, French.
Oui, oui.
Yes, oui. I don't know. She seemed alright. She just caught me at the wrong time, I think.
Yeah. Probably just wanted a quick lick. Oh, got caught instead. Dude, it's actually really sad to see all these people like feel so disheartened at the moment.
Well,
Everyone seems so lost at the moment.
It's because
sad.
I feel like Jaeger is pulling some fucking stops that people don't agree with. and all they can do is really just go with it, because at the end of the day, he is the leader, and they have to. We're looping back to the entire thing of, you know, gang.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the OG. He tells you what to do. He tells you to jump, you jump.
Mm-hmm. You ask how high? How high? Words are hard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And again, as much as I want to respect Jaeger, he's pushing me to the degree where I just can't keep defending his actions.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, like I said, Nick is also an idiot. If you pull a knife, you pull it because you're willing to use it.
Yeah.
Now we're back to what happened 6 years ago or whatever.
At this point, you've all walked this path. You've all been down it. You all know the results.
And it
you all
fucking
know what
sucks, and I don't
happens.
want to deal with it again, but here we
So,
are.
Yeah, why are they allowing it to go that way again? Try something different. Try something else.
Running with scissors. Limited supply by now. No. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you remember when we said that moving up to Plato it would be peaceful?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not.
You were wrong. Honestly, Grove Street probably would have been better at this point.
Yeah. At least Marcos is nice.
I like the Legos. They're cool. Want to go live in the barrio?
Not really. But I feel like we could probably buy 2 houses for the price of 1.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. More than likely.
Alright.
And then you could give keys to whoever you wanted.
Yeah, that too. Let me go. I need a snack. I'm dying. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if I should pop an energy drink or not. I don't know how long this is going to take.
It's tray, so it's usually longer than you think.
Yeah, but is it going to be multiple hours long? I might. I don't know.
Depends. Is
Wong
Nick
is
waking up?
I don't know. Wong is awake. So whenever we're done, I'm going to do some G6 with him. In the big ass truck.
You're doing big truck?
Yes.
I'm gonna wander the streets because I boarded the hospital and I finished G6.
You hit your life goals, huh? Alright.
Oh,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Give me a sec.
yeah, great life goals. Feeling brilliant.
Could have been Lang's neighbor. I don't even know where fucking Lang lives. Give me a sec, chat. How is a 26 gram in a bag? Oh. I went out and bought stuff so I can make Skittles vodka. I don't know which taste is the better taste. Skittles vodka, yeah. It's great. It's dangerous as shit too. Also, I bought sour Skittles and normal Skittles. I need to figure out which taste
Which
is the
one
best one.
yeah. Well, it's one flavor. Are you doing all of them or are you doing one flavor?
I have 5 bottles.
You mean you have 5 bottles?
I have 5 bottles.
What do you mean?
Because
Oh, are
what?
they small or are they big ones?
They're like big enough.
How much are you making?
One of like there is
Each
5
flavor?
colors.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Okay.
bought sour and
okay,
normal.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I'll remove the bad ones from either or, and then
And then
make
you'll get
those.
the nice ones. I
Yeah,
think the sour ones will be really, really nice because they will cut through the sweetness, especially if you're having it with Sprite. Used to be able to get tropical ones, and they were amazing.
I think there was a few.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know if I care about
Apparently,
these two.
Starburst in rum is really good.
Starburst and rum. Wait, 1 pound. Okay, I guess this is for 1 pound a bag. 1 pound bag of Skittles. Yeah, no, it's dangerous. I think I've had my worst hangover ever was from Skittles vodka.
Okay. He's not coming after your brother. He's not coming after you.
That easy?
No, it's not that easy.
I was about to say.
He doesn't understand why everybody thinks that he's hunting. He doesn't understand why this got spun up into him somehow becoming this antagonist that was saying he was going to go and kill everyone. I don't think that was the message that he was
No,
sending.
that's not
It
what was
simply-
said.
No, that's how it was made to sound, though, is that like he was on this hell bent, like, I'm gonna shoot Nicholas and Michael thing. And I'm like, okay. So I call him and he says, it's the same thing you basically alluded to, Michael, which was if Nick is gonna pull a knife on me, he better be willing to use it. Right? And he said, I don't give a fuck about Nick. I don't give a fuck about his girlfriend. If they want to live here, that's fine. But I would make one thing very clear. It's not safe in Polito with what I want to do, which we talked about. And I told him that we talked about that. Right? And I said,
Thank you for 13
just
months, man.
leave them well enough alone. You know what I mean? Why are
they down here with the lights on?
they pulling over your car?
I don't know.
We go talk to him?
I don't know. He can come over here if he wants to talk.
Hey guys,
Hello, officer.
how you guys doing today?
Doing good. Having a conversation.
Yeah. I don't mean to interrupt. But you guys seen anything down here that looks suspicious? Any other people down here? I just got a call down here.
Just some cars that pull up to do work for Mosley's over there. Usually, that's
Over
about it.
here?
Yeah, right, like basically right behind your car, maybe 2 or 3 car lengths back near the
Okay.
bollards there.
And two. Negative. I'm
If
making
you don't-
contact with 3 civilians right now, though.
If you don't mind me asking, what kind of call did you receive? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. Someone's in distress. I'm not really entirely sure. I just came on down to make sure everything was okay.
Oh, I saw somebody jump
probably
in the
people-
water. No, I saw somebody jump in
Where?
the water earlier.
Where at? That way or over here where we're standing?
If you look at the other side, you have like the what do you call those?
The apartments over there?
Well, yeah, but the ones going into the water.
on
Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
I
the
get you. I
docks.
get you.
Yes. So if you go number 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5, he was on the number 5 and then jumped into the water.
1, 2,
somewhere.
3, 4, 5. Do you guys know? Was there used to
God.
be a rental spot over here?
there did a long time ago.
Where at? Do you know where that location is? Because I thought
Hello.
that was here.
Down there.
This way is that
yes.
way?
He used to be
Are you
down there.
sure?
Yeah, the rental guy.
Yeah, he used to be where exactly? Like along this wall over there?
Yes. If you walk down the stairs.
It's on the pier at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks guys. I appreciate you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I don't know. I saw somebody jump in the water. That's about it.
What was said? He was hunting.
No one said he was hunting, but he was threatening to murder.
He's trying to shoot.
Yeah. Shooting somebody usually ends with murder.
I don't know, dude. My body's riddled with bullets.
Look, the long and short of it was he doesn't care. And I think that's just an easy cop out for him to say that I don't want to deal with this or that he's over it. His point was he was dealing with the HOA thing, and he even admitted your brother probably asked politely, but he basically sternly told your brother, kind of dealing with something bigger than me being in your yard right now. And then your brother pressed him, and then I guess that's when he mentioned Little Sanguine, which probably was like a trigger word to him and V, which understandable given the circumstances, and that's probably when things escalated.
Yeah.
But
Like I said, my
naturally, when I told Jaeger, he didn't care.
no.
You know, as he doesn't care about anything, it seems.
Well, that's what he said. Like, like again, Nick is probably not in the right. I don't think this is his fault, specifically.
No, it's not. But
And again, it kind of loops back to the same thing. If Jaeger goes out of his way to threaten to kill or shoot somebody, we're not saying that he's hunting people down, but he's alluding that he will not hesitate to shoot.
sure, his intentions are clear.
Yeah.
I think this is just very much a situation of if you stand between me and what I want, then I will neutralize you, right? Which is like, Michael, let's not lie to each other. You're not a stranger to that either. You were the same,
Yeah.
right? Now Jaeger's a bit more flamboyant about it, but the rationale is still there, I guess. But it's just, he said that he's over it, and he even said that he doesn't hate you guys and he doesn't want to kill you guys. But your brother, on the other hand, pulling a knife on him, no matter the circumstances, no matter what was said, is immediately right.
I agree.
Not going to fly with him, right?
No, I agree. That shouldn't fly with anybody. You pull a knife, it's because you're going to use it.
Yeah.
I've had this conversation with, I don't know, 10, 20 people because I hate it. People all willy-nilly with their fucking knives. And if anything, pull a fucking wrench.
Yeah. I mean, even in that case, right? Like, you have that much of a problem with it if someone's trespassing, just call the cops. Like,
Yeah, but
pulling a knife on someone is lethal intent.
We
right?
also both know that it's not unreasonable to ask somebody to leave a backyard.
No, again, I'm not saying it is, right? But my point is, you ask someone to leave, they say no. You ask them again, they say no. You get somewhat hostile about it, like forceful, authoritative, telling them to leave, and then they start popping off, and then your response to them popping off is to pull a knife. You're gonna get an equal and opposite reaction, right? Now, if you have that much of a problem with it and they're popping off at you, just step away, call the cops, and tell them someone's trespassing on your property. It's that simple. But pulling a knife in a decision-making process, there's a very clear intention the moment you pull a knife,
Yeah,
right?
but we both know that neither Nick or Jaeger is ever the type that would call the cops in
No.
a situation like this.
I understand that, but my point is again, you're right. They aren't the type of people. And like I said earlier, your brother is absolutely the type of person that would stab Jaeger. For fuck's sake, let's not forget that he came to our house with a gun in hand looking for Jaeger. To our house, into our house.
Yeah.
Okay? Your brother's intentions toward Jaeger have never been clearer. Like, everyone understands the hostility between the two. So, that being said, do I think that Jaeger is wrong in assuming that your brother pulled a knife with the intention to use it? No. I think Jaeger's probably right. Do I think Jaeger's wrong for, again, having an equal and opposite reaction? Kind of circumstantially, but not inherently and on principle, no.
I just don't understand why he is refusing to listen to reason from a person that isn't being unreasonable. That it takes, I wasn't yelling at him. I was trying to grasp exactly what happened.
Mhm.
I wasn't being unreasonable in anything I said. So